In this video, we're covering everything you need to know about Nano Banana 2 with a specific focus on marketing content. So things like how to create product images, social media visuals, ad creatives, and AI video workflows. To give you a quick taste, it can create things like this, or shoots like this. Even big companies are using it to do stuff like this. Or you can make websites like this. And this. It's pretty insane for marketing, but it's also not perfect. I'm not gonna pretend like it is, but it's growing very quickly. So if you get good now, you're in the perfect position to take advantage of this over the next few years. There's gonna be massive demand from companies who want people who can use AI for marketing. And if you're new here, my name is Ben. I was previously head of growth at a YC-backed AI startup, so I'm in this world. It's my mission to help bring AI education to everybody else, not just Silicon Valley. But enough about that, let's jump in. So to use Nano Banana 2, we are just going to go to Gemini and then sign in with our Google account. Nano Banana 2 is the latest image model from Google, and it is free to start. There will be rate limits if you try to generate a bunch of images and you're on a free plan, but you can start completely for free. At its simplest, all you have to do is type in your prompt here of the image that you want it to create. So I could do something like this, which is a prompt to create an ad for a guy who's in a bar, but he's advertising a t-shirt. You can see the logo on his back. We'll hit create image, hit submit. So then it might create something like this. Now you can have your own opinions on this. I think this is okay, but honestly not the best. So then we can tweak it to get exactly what we want. So you can see I went back and forth a bunch here till we got to something that is a little bit more like this. We got the motion shots, some motion blur from these women on the edges. He's kind of centered here, framed by these two people. I think his movement looks a little awkward, so we could tweak that, but this is the general idea. Now this obviously is the most basic form. We're gonna go into a bunch more depth. Now you can also use it in paid tools that give you a little bit more functionality. Something like Higgsfield would be one example. These are basically just layers on top of the models that give you a little bit more functionality of like character consistency and uploading reference images and stuff like that. But if you're just starting out, definitely just use it in Gemini. That works fine. So one of the biggest questions regarding Nano Banana 2 is how do I write good prompts? And it turns out there is a structure to this. Google has actually released guidelines around this. So I've created this guide that makes it easy to understand. There's 6 things we want to cover. First is the subject. So who are we talking about, and be as specific as possible. Then action is what are they doing? Again, specifics. Environment, so the background. Art style is important for what sort of style the photo is going to generate in. Is it photorealistic? Is it candid? Is it a editorial feel? Is it animated? Something like that. Lighting is really big, so diffused lighting, warm afternoon indoor light, something like that. And then camera. Now these last two, if you are not a photographer, you probably don't have a ton of idea of how to explain these things, which is totally fine. What I would recommend is find a reference image that you really like and either use that as your style guide, so tell Nano Banana 2 to make my image in this style, or you just upload that image and ask the model, how would you describe the lighting and camera here? I'll also add this guide as a link down below so you guys can have this and use this when you are prompting. Another very important thing here is to specify the dimensions that you want the photo to be. By default, Nano Banana 2 will just take whatever the reference image was that you uploaded, or if you didn't do that, it'll just default to its basic dimension. Some other tips are learn to use negative prompts, so be very specific about what you don't want in the image or what you don't want it to look like. It's very good at understanding though. And then remember to iterate. It's cool to one-shot this stuff and get the perfect prompt that gets the exact image you want, but honestly, that is pretty unlikely. You're going to have to talk to it over and over again, say, hey, I don't like this. Can we remove this guy from the back right? Can we add a little bit of motion blur? Can we change the lighting here? It handles all of that stuff pretty well, and that's the normal workflow. Okay, but now let's get to the good stuff, which are the exact marketing use cases. You guys know I love specific use cases, so let's jump in. First of all is product photography. Nano Banana 2 is great at this. So some use cases, you could upload a basic product shot that you took or even a mock-up that you have built of your product and then put it in an actual background, in an actual scene. So something like this. You can swap backgrounds to give yourself a lot of variation of your product photography. You can generate a multi-angle shot from one image. You can put a logo on a product and really change anything about an image that you already had, like props, colors, or lighting. Next up is generating social media content at scale. And my favorite thing here is slideshows. These slideshow or carousels are getting really popular on Instagram right now, and you can use Nano Banana 2 plus usually some other LLM, like could be Gemini or Claude, to come up with these. So it could be something like this. Similarly, you can create really cool infographics. And the one thing that I love about these infographics or slideshows is that you can't tell they're AI as long as you get the text right. When it's a photorealistic photo, it's getting a lot better now, but still it can look a little bit odd. But if it's just text, there's no way that people will know. Next up is ad creatives or AI UGC. So, different influencers holding your products. This can be really nice when combined with video as well. Now, to be honest, this gets a little complex to cover all of this, like how to master it in just this video, but this is probably the fastest growing area of AI content right now. Another one is YouTube thumbnails. So you upload your photo and then have it generate variations of you doing certain things, looking a certain way. You can add in backgrounds. It's pretty good. Now, as someone who makes a lot of YouTube thumbnails, I still think it kind of has that AI look, and personally for me, it turns me off a little bit, but people are definitely using it. They're using it to great success, so it's something you can play around with. Next one is brand assets, so something like a logo, it's great for, and then from that logo, you can generate a bunch of different variations of, say, you might have one that goes on a t-shirt like on your arm and you need a lot smaller, one that is just the name, like just the text, one is the logo that goes here, like all sorts of things. It can take that, have consistency across logos, and put it everywhere you need to put it. And then the last one is making websites that look beautiful. So you can do something like this. You can generate images for a website with Nano Banana 2 and then put those into, say, something like Claude Code to make it actually look beautiful. And then let's talk about how to go from images to video. So you can also do this for free. The video is very limited. Right now you get 3 generations per day. But we can use Veo 3, which is Google's video model, combined with Nano Banana 2 to create animated ads. So let me jump over and I'm gonna upload a file. I'm gonna use this image I have here of this woman holding a drink, and then give this prompt. All right, so what we'll see is the video looks really good except for the obvious problem of her arm crosses through her other arm. Now, like I said, it is unlikely that you will be able to one-shot things. So if we wanted to, we could tweak this, ask for it to not happen or specify that her arm needs to be on top of her other one so it looks natural. But overall, I'm actually quite impressed with how this looks realism-wise. Like besides that, the actual person, the trees, the background, all of that stuff looks really nice. And so you really understand what's possible here. Let me show you a couple other videos that were completely made with AI. And then really, if you want to create a full ad from this, you might want to stitch together a couple videos like this. Then you're editing it yourself at the end, you're adding in your own music, stuff like that. Now, a few things to watch out for here. It still can struggle with text when the text is very complicated. That's why a lot of people actually add in the text themselves. Also, your images are watermarked with something called Synth ID, which tells other computers that this is AI generated. A human can't tell just from looking at it unless like the image kind of looks AI, but the Synth ID watermarking is there. For commercial use, always check platform terms, but the vast majority of these platforms allow commercial use, and Gemini does. So hopefully this is a starting point for you to get going on your journey of using Nano Banana 2 for marketing. There's a bunch more. You can't always cover everything in a video, but this is everything you need to know to get going. I'll see you next time.